Hi everyone. I wonder if you can see me. Who's on with me? Who's with me? Hi. Who's with me? Okay then. Hi everyone. I'm Gul. I'm so glad that you're joining me today. Shall we wait for a few more people? I think we will. Just a few moments. We had some technical glitches, but it's all good. It's all good. That's great. Okay. So, okay, let's get started. Okay then. So we're here today. My name is Gul Khan. I'm a energy transformational coach, and I'm so thrilled that you decided to join me today. Okay, so let's get started. If I share my screen with you, let's see. Okay, so there we are. Oh, we have somebody else. Oh, fabulous. We've got more people joining in. Oh, that's fantastic. That's great. We're just running a slightly little later than we anticipated, but that's fine. Okay. All right. So let me share my screen with you now. Let's see. We'll share screen so we can get started. And voila! Fantastic. So we're here today to do this webinar, which is the easiest way that for you to upgrade your energetic vibration using scientific tools to clear unseen blockages in your electromagnetic field to get the law of attraction working for you. It's a bit of a mouthful, but it's cool. Okay, so let me know in the chat box if you can hear me clearly. So can you hear me clearly? And can you see my screen? Can you just put in the chat box if you can see my screen and you can hear me clearly? Hello, let's see. Anybody? Oh, perfect. Fantastic. That's wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, then. So what are we going to learn today? So today I'm covering the exact energy blocks. I mean, exactly what are energy blocks. How do you locate them? Then we're going to talk about the types of energy blocks that you have. And we're going to talk about exactly where they're concentrated, usually around your chakras. Now, if you're not familiar with chakras, I'll give you visual diagrams to see exactly where the chakras are. We'll talk about the 7 main chakras today, but there's plenty more of chakras as well. But we'll talk about the 7 main ones. And I'll give you my 3-step formula to actually get the law of attraction working for you. Right, and then finally, we'll talk about the exact steps to new energy and action and destiny with money. All exciting stuff. Fantastic. Okay, then at the end of the also call, I will be sharing something with you about the new masterclass that I'm holding, and then we can talk about it then. But just to let you know, this is the format for this webinar for the time being. Okay, so why am I doing this? My own story. My background is that I'm a corporate lawyer. I didn't exactly give it up, but I sort of took a career break when I had my first child. Also, I mean, while I was working in corporate law, I was not happy. I was not very. It's something that I did for the sake of money rather than actually doing it because I really enjoyed my job and I was very good at it. So that's probably the reason why I stuck to it for so long. But during my maternity, I had the option to stay at home and take a different perspective. Plus, I wanted to be around my daughter. I didn't want to go back to the same crazy 70, 80 hours a week. So I retrained and became an energy healer. And slowly I realized I was a much better energy healer and energy worker than I was a lawyer, even though I was pretty good at my job. So I gave that up. Eventually, I gave that up. While I built up my energy practice before I actually gave up my legal practice, but I was able to do so. However, what I found was, even though I was very good at my legal job, it was a job. And when I became a practitioner, when I was self-employed, I had a lot of money blocks and a lot of money issues. And I found when I had to really dig in to find out what they were, I found that there were many auric attachments, there were many different forms of blockages held up in my chakras that allowed me to be, as long as I had the security of being in a job, it was fine. But as soon as I was going to be my own boss, as soon as the security blanket was taken off, it really made me uncomfortable. And I think that's when all my blocks showed up. So that's my journey, and that's where I got started, and that's where I got intrigued with clearing energy blocks. And I specialize in clearing money blocks. I think that's where my passion lies. So because of what I went through, I made my mission to shine the light of clarity in all sorts of energy blocks, making sure that everybody that I came into contact with, that I was able to help. Because I found that if you have money blocks, if you have money issues, then you find that that impacts every aspect of your life, your relationships, your career choices rather, your where you live, how you interact, how you socialize, etc. So lack of money, I think, is people say the love of money is a root of all evil. I actually say the lack of money causes people to make choices which actually brings a lot of evil into their lives. So I mean, that's the reason why I have such a profound love for clearing energy, especially money blocks. Okay, so one thing I've learned is you can sit there doing meditations for hours on end, and it's like me going to general practitioner and saying, I've got with a splinter in my hand, and saying to the doctor, oh, my hand really hurts, can you sort my hand out? And the doctor prescribing me medication on medication on medication, but my hand doesn't get better. Now, obviously, I can take, as you know, ibuprofen or cocodamol or paracetamol till the cows come home, but the hand will not get better until the splinter's been taken out. Same analogy here. Until we've taken out these energy blocks, these things which prevent you from actually reaching your higher self, reaching your higher dimensions, you're not going to be able to manifest anything, and you're not going to be able to reach that meditation level that everyone seeks. Yeah, so that's the idea behind this call. So before we get started, this is not like as you've just seen, I've gone through my personal story in a matter of minutes. It's not about half an hour on how great I am and what I've earned and the millions I have, so forth. It's all about content today. It's all about the information I can pack into this 60 minutes webinar to give you as much information as possible, so that you walk away with the understanding of what exactly energy block is and what you can do about it to use the information I give you to clear your own energy blocks, and then actually have law of attraction working for you. Yeah? Does that sound good? Okay then. So please get a pen and paper. There will be a lot of information, and create a space for the transformation. So you can hold this intention that I'm going to come to this webinar, I'm going to learn something, and I'm going to go away, with some information that I can actually implement into my life. Yeah? Set the intention now. Okay, and then, okay. Okay, so let's get cracking with energy. What exactly is energy? Now, energy, according to Nikola Tesla, is if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Now, I think that's a profound statement, because everything is energy. If you think from scientific point of view, what is everything? Behind everything, everything's vibration. It's just atoms vibrating at a high speed. So if you go to the core of it, what is everything? It's energy. Religiously, if you pull away all the religious scriptures and everything that they talk about, what is God? God is energy. So that's one point where both science and religious scholars meet, is the fact that God and everything is energy. And quantum science is actually even going further to collaborate on that. So that's energy. Energy is everything. Your energy, your hand's energy, everything is energy. It's just different levels of vibration, and that's what solidifies it. So your hand is just your atoms vibrating at a particular speed. Water is just those particles vibrating at a particular speed, and the air around us is just those particles vibrating at that particular speed. Okay, so everything is energy. Okay, then, so what happens when we're blocked? Okay, so now, if you think of yourself, if everything is now energy, if you look at this diagram at the moment, if you think of yourself as a body and that's energy, you have all these auric fields around you. Okay, there's the etheric field, the emotional field, the mental, the astral, the etheric, the cholesterol, and the causal body as well. They're all different auric bodies around. Now, this is a bit scientific, so let me try and do this as slowly as possible. Okay. So when we're talking about blocks, we're talking about auric clearings, and these focus on clearing the energy field or the auric field, okay? And aura and auric field, or the electromagnetic field, is the light body that surrounds the physical body. Now, if you imagine in the middle, there's this man here, the black diagram, that's the man, or the woman rather, and all these energies, this yellow, green, blue, those are all different auric energies around this body. Make sense? Yeah. Now, most people, okay, and I found most of my clients, I haven't come across any of my clients that don't have these issues. Most people have unseen blockages that we can identify, which are trapped in these different bodies, these different auric bodies, okay? Now, what happens during auric clearings is we can energetically transmute these blockages from the auric body, i.e. the auric energy around, so the light in the light body, out into the universe, and therefore that we can clear the blockages. Okay, that's the simplest way to put it. Does that make sense, everybody? Have I lost you, or are you still with me? Talk to me, people. I know this is a bit tough. Can you still hear me? Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes? No? Okay, shall I carry on? Okay. Okay, let's ask me. Does that make sense? That makes sense? Oh, okay. Oh, good. So that does make sense. Fantastic. Okay. So now, when you have an unhealthy, when you have somebody who has unhealthy emotional issues, they possess weakened energy fields. So they'll have these. So if you have a look at this, it's like that's on the left hand side is the normal aura. But somebody who has blockages is something that's similar to on the right hand side. They'll have these orbs, these dark matter, and even part of the auric energy will be missing. It's quite profound in terms of how it's laid out. Somebody who is a clairaudient like myself can actually see this. So when I see an aura, I can pick out that they've got this missing, they've got this dark matter here, they've got this this discarnate sitting here, they've got this block. Just clear to me. I mean, you don't need to be a clairaudient to see this nowadays. You can get something called, you can look at people's auras through aura technology. There are aura machines which we can scan people's auras, they scan people's bodies, and they pick out exactly where they have these blockages. And it's quite profound. And what we tend to do at some of these live shops live workshops rather, is we take people and we scan the auras first, and then we do the clearings, and then we scan them afterwards. And the change in the aura is quite profound, and that gives them those people instantaneous evidence and validation of the fact they have done this clearing, and the fact that this will have an impact on them in the coming days and weeks and months. Okay, all make sense? Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so that's where we are. Now, this is what happens. So once we've done the clearing, this is the before and after. So when somebody comes to me, or when they come to an energy healer, they may have bits of the fields missing, and the energy, the outer energy is very, very congested and is actually missing. And then once they've actually been through the clearing, they can see on the right hand side this time around how it works and how the clearing and the aura actually, how you can actually visually see through an aura body and an aura instrument how the person's aura looks energetically. You can do it through. You can actually be seen on the extra machines as well. Okay, so what's the greatest challenge? So what we find is that a lot of people have have unfinished businesses, belief systems, thought forms, paradigms, contracts, and sometimes, actually a lot of the times, from past lifetimes as well. Now, these people, and I mean, you may be one of them, where we basically go through with these workshops, and we go through a number of we go through the workshops, and we read all these books, but regardless of how much work we do, we're stuck in the same sort of energy field, or the same sort of reality. Reality doesn't change, and they don't know why. I mean, I have a client who actually, I've heard this so many times, when they say, I've read all this book and I've done all this meditation, but nothing seems to be working. Well, the point is, what happens is, a lot of the times when you have these blockages, when you go to try and meditate and reach your higher self, these blockages actually prevent you from reaching that higher state, to reaching that salvation state, because they'll stop, and you hear voices in your head, and they're actually not voices from your higher self. They're actually voices from these incarnates or these other auric attachments. So this is something that people don't actually realize, and you have to understand that going to self-help workshops is not the answer. You have to actually clear your energy first. Make sense? So the missing link we have is that the auric attachments, until you permanently transmute these auric attachments from all levels of awareness, they'll keep activating. Yeah? So, okay, so let's go on to the type of auric attachments. So first of all, let's talk about occupants. Now, occupants, these are very interesting beings. Now, a lot of the people don't realize, I think 99% of the people who come to me actually are not aware of what occupants are. These are soulless thought forms that think it owns the body. Okay, so stay with me, people. This is a bit sci-fi and a bit woo-woo, but it's quite interesting if you pay attention. So an occupant is a soulless thought form that thinks it owns the body, and it hinders the person from evolution. They come in during childhood up to the age of 12, especially during a traumatic event, because children are so open to energies. So they can also be created a person when they're in an analogical state of mind. So, for example, when they're very extremely afraid, or something really traumatic happens, a parent dies, or a loved one dies, or they're in or something very severe and traumatic. Now, an occupant resonates with frequencies and attitudes of trauma, be it abuse, accident, illness, or stress, and it attaches itself to the person somewhere in the pranic tube. Now, we can scan from the individual from feet to head, and we can actually I can normally see where the occupants are, and we can have them removed. Yeah. Now, these are thought forms that can sometimes have a huge magnetic fields that can attract undesirable experiences and relationships. Okay, they're a top priority removal as occupants because they interfere with the natural flow of people, places, times, things, and events. But however, the good news is, once they're removed, the influence is also removed. Okay, so the person begins to experience different times and places, and things begin to manifest in accordance to a person's desires, what they want rather than what they don't want. Now, these occupants often enter a chakra seal. Okay, so they'll enter in the times of trauma, and they'll basically once they've entered it, when the person's in a higher traumatic state, they'll enter that chakra, and they'll sit there. Okay, now we can scan the light body in a systematic way and to identify the different occupants. but it has to be done. This is something that you need a practitioner to do. You can actually scan for these as well using an auric instrument. Yeah. Okay. Some examples would be, if there's an occupant in your 7th chakra, you know, they'll hold your belief towards God, towards source energy, towards divinity. Another one is if there's an occupant in your 5th chakra, which is a throat chakra, they will prevent you or hinder you from speaking your truth and the truth itself. So you find it very difficult to speak up. Oh good. Okay. Let's talk about discarnates. Okay. This always makes me cringe, because most people, when I say most people, I mean most, 99% of the people are sleeping masses. They're completely unaware of the see and some of the things of these discarnates, because they're unseen, but some of them are very, very malicious. These discarnates, they are beings that have died through the tunnel of bliss. They haven't gone through the tunnel of light. So they're stuck on the astral level, on the 4th dimension, attached to people, either because of the past karmic ties to the person, or simply because they're siphoning off the person's emotional energy. So emotionally energized fear, rage, anger, grief, disappointment, or frustration, then we attract discarnates that resonate with that energy. And that energy basically becomes their food. So they feed off it. For example, if somebody gets really angry and there's this discarnate around, he attaches to him or her at that particular moment in time. But because now the fear or the anger is the discarnate's food, energetically speaking, energetic food, that discarnate will cause circumstances to be in that person's reality feed, so the person becomes angry or fearful all the time, so that obviously the discarnate can get food, energetic food. Make sense? I'm sorry, this is I just want to keep asking, because this is a really complicated stuff, and I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, then let's carry on. Now, discarnates, just to recap on discarnates are very earthbound, and they're people who've died, but the people that we know now, it doesn't have to be that we've known these people in this lifetime. It could be a past lifetime, as I mentioned. So, but generally, most of the time, it's people that we know from this lifetime. Okay. And it has that karmic contract where you betrayed me, or you abandoned me, or you said you would never, you would be with me forever, never leave me, or there's a bond of hatred or something like that. Yeah, it's one of those things. Okay, so moving on. Let's go on to portals. Right, okay, so portals are openings in one of the chakras. Okay, I'm going to go talk about chakras in a bit, but this is quite important as well. So portals are openings in one or more of the chakras that acts as a vacuum, okay, for other people's thought forms. So let me repeat that. Portals are openings in one or more of the chakras that acts as a vacuum for other people's adverse, bad, fearful, angry, horrible thought forms. Okay, we find that on people, and who wish to heal a pain. This tends to be on people who are very, very caring. They want to help other people. They want to be of service to other people. So they consciously or unconsciously take upon themselves other people's burdens. Now, the problem is portals have the potential to cause health problems, depression, and energy loss. Okay, we have to close portals permanently, and therefore we need to we scan obviously the body again, and we need to go back to the emotional trauma which actually caused the opening of the portal. Make sense? So these portals they're vertical, and they tend to be in the center of the body along the pranic tube, from top of the head to the ankles again. So just to recap, portals are openings in one or more chakras which allows other people's bad thoughts adverse thoughts to come into your head. Okay, for example, you'll be sitting down and you're fine, and all of a sudden you feel drained of energy, or all of a sudden you get very angry at a particular issue which you have no idea why you're angry at. That is a sign that you have a portal and somebody is draining you of energy and feeding you their negative thought forms. Oh, it's very sci-fi, isn't it, all of this? So let's carry on. Wormholes, fantastic. Now, wormholes are very much like tunnels, and they connect one person's light body, you know, the auric field, yeah, the light body, to another dimension. So obviously we live in this particular dimension, but there are multiple parallel dimensions. When you have wormholes on an individual's energy body, it connects your energy body, your light body, to another dimension, which allows entities in the other dimension to feed off your energy again. So what happens when again, same thing, was very similar to portals. When you have wormholes on you and you have these entities in the other dimensions feeding off your energy, they'll keep you in low vibration on purpose to ensure that they get fed. Okay, because they're feeding off either your fear, your anger, your frustration, whatever it is that opened the wormhole in the first place. Make sense? Whew. Let's get cracking. And finally, ids. Now, ids are amazing, amazing things as well. First of all, let me talk about analogical states of mind. So when we get involved in an experience where we have this massive trauma, we get into this what's called an analogical state of mind. It's where time stands still. We go on a quantum level, and we do this obviously unconsciously. But because when we are in a state of fear or trauma, or in a very high stressed situation, our mind is trained to go onto an analogical state and go in the quantum level, where everything stands still and there's no element of time and space. In that state, we create what's called an id, if these are identities. And these ids are soul fragments of ourselves that are still alive and well and affecting us from the past. They embody the attitude, belief, concept, and paradigm that we identify with that happened in that particular moment when we're in the state of fear. So they example, you know, for that would be when you're about to get hit by a car, and and all of a sudden you freeze up. What happens then is that you get into the state where every time, I mean, this is where a lot of people need to have their work on. You get stuck in that fear, and then you're unable to go near a car again, because every time you get near the car, you're near a car, or near the road rather, you live that aspect, that the moment of time again and again and again, where the other car was coming on the road and was about to hit you. So you have this identity which makes you live that life, that part of your life again and again and again, because obviously that is now outside time and space, and your body and your energy body thinks that's happening again and again and again. Make sense? Okay, so now that we've talked about things, let's go on to chakras, my favorite. So chakras are, let me get this right. Now, we're all familiar with chakras. Chakras are amazing things to deal with. Let me see, I've lost my notes. Okay then, so chakras are energy centers. If you look at this diagram here, there are 7 main chakras, which is everyone's familiar with. There's the base, there's the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, the crown, and these form what's called the 7 chakras. But we also have the 8 morphogenetic chakras as well. I'm not going to talk about the morphogenetic genetic chakras for the time being. Let's stick to the 7 common known chakras. Okay. Now, these are energy centers, and these are literally energy centers, and they do actually move around. as you can see from the diagram, the crown chakra and the base chakra, they face downwards, and the crown chakra faces upwards, and they swirl around like a tornado in that direction. The base chakra is swirling in a tornado format, facing towards the earth, and the crown chakra is in a tornado format, facing facing the sky. And all the other chakras, the third eye, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, and the sacral, are actually facing outwards from the front and the back. Yeah. Now these now correspond with different emotional frequencies. And so the kind of emotion that's blocked in them is dependent on what feelings or what emotions you were going through at that moment in time. Yeah. So let's stick to this. Does that make sense, or shall I go and explain this chakra a bit more? I can't see anybody who's out there. Right. Do you have any, before I go on, do you have any questions, anybody, about chakras? Any questions? Okay, then I'll carry on. Okay. So all the blockages that I've mentioned to you, they're centered around these chakras. The idea is you should be clearing all the morphogenic chakras as well. If you start with clearing your, it's a lot better to take in, but it makes sense. Oh, thank God. I know I'm trying to do this as slowly, but I'm quite conscious of the fact that we only have 60 minutes. I'm trying to give as much information in the simplest form possible as well. Okay, that's great. That's great, Cleone. Thank you for that. Okay, so yeah, it does. It would if you're fear, or if you're depressed, or if you have any sort of low vibrational energy, you'll find that you keep going reliving it, and the likelihood is that you probably have an occupant or a portal or wormhole, or probably all three of them, which means that you are constantly pulled back into the energy field, so that these occupants or these entities can feed off your energy. Because remember that you as a light being have profound amount of energy, and they need to feed. They want to feed off from you, and that's why it's a bit tricky to get out of. Once you're in that state, it's very tricky to get out. Unless you have somebody or yourself, that you can clear your energy off these things. Yeah. Going back to the chakras, most of these occupants I tend to find, I think 90% tend to be around where the chakras are. So they tend to locate there in the chakras, and especially the ids. They tend to be. So, for example, if you have an emotional response to, for example, if you have, where are we? Oh yeah, for example, if you have unresolved experience of heartbreak, or you're really upset. So I'll give you an example. I'll give you my example. So when I went through, my divorce, I felt my heart was broken, and I kept reliving it again and again and again. And I found when I started clearing myself, and it's very difficult to see these, even though I'm an energy practitioner myself, it's very difficult for me to see on myself, because that's why surgeons don't do surgery on themselves. They get their colleagues to do it. So when I went to my mentor and asked her for help, she located these ids that were centered around my heart. So she helped me clear this experience of guilt and the heartache that was all of these ids that were centered around my heart. She helped me to transmute them. And once she did, I stopped reliving that pain. Until then, I kept living the pain of seeing my ex with his his 19-year-old girl, and how that made me feel, and how that alone made me feel. And I didn't know why I was putting myself through that torture, but that's what I was doing. And that's what we tend to do. We keep living that moment in time again and again and again, and keep reliving that pain. So once that id is removed, I was able to just forgive him and move on and just say, okay, that's fine. That happened. It's part of history. It's no longer part of my current lifetime. It's not part of my current reality. But I wasn't able to do that. Another example would be speaking the truth. So if you have not spoken the truth in the past, you'll have that id stuck in your throat chakra. So you keep getting stuck. So whenever you're asked about your feelings or about certain things, you are unable to speak the truth about how you feel or what you want, your throat swells up and you're stuck. Again, you're reliving that moment again and again and again, and that has to be removed before you can move forward. Yeah, make sense? Okay then. So what is my 3-step formula? My 3-step formula is as this. We first of all identify your blocks, which I've just gone through all the different auric attachments and ids and so forth that we are. That's the first thing you do. You go and you identify every sort of block that you have or auric attachment that you have. You identify them. Secondly, you clear it. So you use these energetic methods to clear them. I'll give you a couple in a bit. And you use these methods to clear your energetic field. Thirdly, now once you've cleared your energetic field, then you sit down and you do your, let me just clear this. Yeah. Okay. Once you've cleared your energetic field, then you sit down and you do the visualizations, and then you can use any visualization tools. Yeah, you visualize for your goal and you set your manifestation process in that heightened vibrational state. So let's go. So yeah, so step 1 is identify all your blocks. I just said it according to what I've just talked about. Identify all of them and clear them. Second step, you clean your aura. Now, here are a few ways you can clear your aura. You can clear your energy fields by certain small things. You know, when you're feeling low in energy or when you're feeling not yourself. These are very simple methods to do, and they work pretty well for simple things. You can go in the sunlight, you can go swimming in salt water if you're near the sea. Other great way is to have Epsom salt and take a bath in that. That's great to stimulate your own energy flow, and it's also great. I think Epsom salts are great, especially when you've done some clearing as well. So that's another method, and meditation as well. So meditation helps you to release negative energy, but keep in mind, this method will not clear your discarnates, your wormholes, your portals. This is just simple, minor things, but it is great to clear. The next thing is to heal your aura. So if you have wormholes, portals, and other sort of auric attachments, which 99% of people do when they come to me, then like your mental health, your energy health is just as important, and therefore you need to go to a practitioner who can help you clear your energy field, as I did. I mean, after when I went through my separation, even though I'm an energy practitioner myself, I had to go and see somebody else who could clear me, who could heal my aura and bring me back to life, so to speak. Okay. The other way also is that you need to work on your forgiveness. So you have to let go of the pain, and that if until you let go of the pain, I think this when you work with the practitioner, this works simultaneously with them. They clean your aura, but you also work on forgiving people, because that's very, very important. And also through visualization, again, another technique. So you visualize yourself, your body filling it with light, and you cleanse your aura, you cleanse. But these are steps that you can take as you go through. Now, step 3, now that's the most important thing. Now, this is the thing that most people end up doing. So when everybody talks about law of attraction, this is the only step that they talk about. They talk about, oh, you should have vision board, and then you should sit down and visualize for X amount of time, 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night, and da-da-da-da. Nobody actually talks about the first 2 steps. They don't talk about identifying your blocks. They don't talk about cleansing your blocks, because until you do those, this step is redundant, because these occupants, these wormholes, these portals will prevent you from reaching that heightened frequency, because the only way you can attract the things that you want, which is in higher vibration, is to reach that higher vibration. And to reach that higher self, that higher vibration, you have to cleanse your aura first. You have to literally do an auric clearing first. Otherwise, if you don't do the clearing, you'll remain in this low vibration, which means you get more of what you don't want. Now, the downside of this is when this happens, what you end up doing is, the more you actually sit there and visualize, and you visualize, and you visualize, and you think, oh, okay, I want the $5,000 this month. I want that beautiful house, and I want that guy, and I want that girl, and whatever else, whatever you visualize, whatever you're trying to manifest. You do it for a week, and a month, and 2 months, even for 6 months, and it doesn't happen. You get more and more frustrated, more and more angry, and more annoyed with the fact that you think, oh, the law of attraction doesn't work. All I end up getting is worse. And actually, that does happen. When you go to manifest something, the opposites tend to happen more. Why? For this very reason. So you're stuck in this lower vibration. Ask if something is higher vibration, and these occupants and these auric attachments pull you down even further. Hence, you attract, which is even of lower vibration than what you originally had, making things worse than before. Hence, you think, oh, the law of vibration doesn't work. The law of attraction doesn't work. It should make things worse. It does. But the law of attraction is working perfectly because you haven't done the pre-work. So once you've identified your attachments, secondly, you've cleared them using the help of a practitioner, then you can sit down and do a visualization, and then when you have when your own frequency is heightened and you reach your higher self, you can manifest anything, and pretty quickly. Make sense? Okay, so let's see. Do you have any questions before I go on? Do we have any questions? I have talked through quite a bit. Any questions? No? Okay. So the powerful decision that we do requires a clarity. Now, this is very important. When your inner world changes, when your aura has been cleansed, your inner world changes. Your outer world has to change, because once your aura has been cleansed, your frequency will get higher. You'll be able to reach your higher self. And when your frequency is higher, you will attract people, places, time, and events and circumstances which are of higher vibration. And that will mean your outer world has to change. It's just simple as that. Okay? So what does that mean for you? Just think about it, yeah? So I recommend? So I seriously recommend that you challenge and uncover your beliefs, and look for your own auric blockages and attachments. I mean, take away the information I've given today. It's been very, very, very fast paced because I had to fit a lot in. But think about what it is that I've given to you, what it is and what it means to you and how it could help you. Yeah, think about it. And then secondly, clear your auric field. And then once it's done, once we have cleared your auric field, visualize your goals in a heightened energetic state. Now, obviously, I want to help. Now, before I talk about that, any more questions before I can help? Any questions at all, guys? Okay, fabulous. No questions, so I'll carry on. So now I want to help. Now I have your exact steps to a completely new energy actions destiny with money, and I have something for you. Now I have something that's totally new. I've turned all my knowledge and working with all these people and working with energetic auric clearings, and I've made a transformational masterclass. Now, this masterclass goes beyond mindset, beyond the law of attraction, beyond tapping or any other modality at all. It's specifically and laser focused on auric attachments. I mean, it's focused on clearing your auric field, and that's the purpose of this training. Now, in this masterclass, we will scan the multidimensional light body for everybody who attends. Okay, so we'll scan it. I will program it into the masterclass, into the energy field of the time, that we are able to scan everybody who's there, their light body, and we'll see what auric attachments, what all the blockages there are on everybody. We're going to use scalar language and energy directing techniques and sacred code of the absolute harmonic universe. Oh, bit of a mouthful there. So we use sacred codes, these are scientific codes of the absolute harmonic universe, and we communicate with your higher self and subconscious mind to permanently transmute these attachments, these auric attachments, okay? Then we also go and we recover the golden soul fragments of your light body. These are the soul fragments that they've lost because of these its and other traumatic events in your life, in this life, and sometimes in your past lives as well. So we go and recover those. And lastly, we always download new codes, templates, and new soul programming for your higher self. So then what happens at the end of this masterclass is that you will have now a higher frequency, and then that will help you to change your reality, because that will attract people, places, events that resonate with this new higher frequency that you have now. Fabulous. So I want to just reiterate this. This is not another money mindset or abundance program. It's a comprehensive step-by-step process for you to let go of your subconscious money programming, and also auric attachments which negate your money and create your money issues and create your money traumas, and create a powerful, now free from those limits reality. Make sense? So today you have two choices. You can change this from this costly, and I highly recommend you do that. And you can do two things. You can either take what information I've given you, and that's plenty, because I don't see anybody out there who's doing this kind of training. Honestly, I've been on so many other trainings. I haven't heard anybody talk about these things the way I have today, and very openly and candidly. Without having the taboo of sounding a bit crazy. But I mean, these are, this is very important training. So you can take all these aha moments, take all this information, and go and do the space off. You absolutely can, no problem about it. Or you can take the path of certainty and let me be your guide, and let me help you and take the step-by-step process with this masterclass. So this masterclass, this auric cleansing masterclass, is for you if you want true, deep, embodied transformation, specifically in your money, okay? Because I think I focus a lot on money, because once money is sorted, I find a lot of other things get sorted at the same time as well. Money is just the outer manifestation of so many other issues. When you start working on money, everything else seems to start falling into place as well. You can unleash your inner power, become more alive, on fire, focused, connected to your true passion and in action. You find that when these auric attachments start falling out, you find your intuition gets heightened. Obviously, that's the normal way, because your higher self can now speak to you. Your guides are able to speak more clearly to you, and they come out to you and they explain to you, guided to take better, bigger, bolder actions. It's removing the splinter. So I go in and I remove the splinter being these auric attachments. Yeah, and you can truly live the life that you've been meaning to live. Now, once this is done, you can free yourself and start earning money, eliminating debt, and creating wealth. I keep going back to this because I find that to be one of the most motivating things for me when I was starting out, especially when I became a single mom. That money was something that was very important to me, not just to pay the food, for the food and pay the, keep the roof over our head, but to give my children the kind of life that they needed. And you will see, and as you clear the deepest layer of how and why these auric attachments have been limiting you, you realize how they've been impacting so many different areas of your life also. So again, this masterclass is for you if you want to clear your energy, you consciously want to earn, and you want to have a win-win vibration, okay? So your investment to join this program, now, I've kept this purposely on 3 levels. The first one is just a recording of the masterclass. Now this, it means that you don't attend the live masterclass, but it's so that you get the recording and you still get the same benefits. The benefit of having the live masterclass is you get to ask questions and you get specific training or one-to-one, clearing on you at that moment in time. So I highly recommend the live masterclass, but the recording will have the same benefits because it will have the same programming. I mean, I will program it into the recording. But the first one is the masterclass recording only. The second level is live masterclass with the recording. Now the third one is a special thing that I'm throwing in this time around. It's where you get the live masterclass with the recording plus a 1 session with me. I don't do a single sessions only. I do multiple, and on purpose, I do group sessions for this very reason, to see the profound effect. You need to be able to have a number of sessions so I can see where the people start off and where they end up. But I think I did appreciate this because with the amount of training that I've done just now. Sometimes people do want that one-off session where I can go in and I can laser focus on your energetic field and clear your occupants or wormholes, close your portals, close your wormholes, and remove all your id, and so I can move you into a higher energetic vibration. Yeah. Now, by joining today, you will get a huge bonus. Okay, I've added another huge bonus for anybody who joins me today. The first bonus is the fact that the first 50 people who sign up will get. One second. Any questions? No. Okay, so the first 50 people who sign up will also, who decide to invest in this masterclass, will also get 15 minutes of sessions of energy clearing session with me. So this is on top of this, in addition to the one-to-one private session. Everybody who buys a masterclass, either the recording or the live masterclass, the first 15 people, not everybody, the first 15 people will get 15 minutes of energy clearing session with me. And this is a huge bonus because I don't normally do this, but this is truly to support you and continue the work from the masterclass. Secondly, everybody who signs up today will also get the manifestation masterclass. Now this is a standalone masterclass and I do this alone itself, but I thought it was a fantastic way to get your manifestations moving forward. So this will be a 30-minute manifestation masterclass in addition to, I might do it on the same day, we may change the times, in addition, so that you can actually see once you are in this, when you are in this heightened state. So we've gone through this auric clearing for you. We've cleared all your auric attachments. We've cleared all your blockages. You're now in very heightened and primed for manifestation. So then we go straight into manifesting your goals. So I will ask you to bring a particular goal that you want, to be a partner, be a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a job, or a particular amount, 5,000, 10,000, a particular goal, one very concrete, specific goal that you're trying to manifest, and you bring it to this masterclass, manifestation masterclass. And then there, through my special technique, we will set the manifestation in process. Now, it's a very powerful technique and it gets profound results. It's absolutely profound. So this is something that I think is an absolute amazing thing on its own, but I'm throwing this in as a complete bonus because I think anybody who decides to invest in themselves and is willing to go the extra mile and take on this sci-fi stuff of woo-woo stuff of auric and attachments and discarnates and wormholes and so forth, which is something out of Star Wars movie, deserves this. I think it's a truly fantastic masterclass, which I think everyone can benefit from. So I absolutely love this manifestation technique. I have to say, it's not mine. It's something that was taught to me by my mentor, and I absolutely loved it. And she's given me the, and then I've been using it myself, and she's given me the information that I can use it with my clients. So it's fantastic. Now, let me say this again. This is not just another money mindset abundance program. It is a comprehensive program, step-by-step program. Now, let me answer a few questions. I've been going on about it. Is this a magic pill? No. Am I promising that once you take this auric clearing masterclass, all your problems will be solved? No. So what am I promising? First, I'm promising that when you attend this auric clearing masterclass, all your attachments on this upper superficial layer will clear. Okay. In this masterclass, you will liberate yourself from these auric attachments, which create wealth, and through we opening these, we will clear all the attachments in all your chakras. We'll go through all the 7 chakras. We'll clear everything, all the blockages in all those 7 chakras, and all in the outer light body as well. So you've got a clearing that's completely profound, and it would clear at least 20 to 30% of all your attachments. That's a profound statement to make in itself. Will it completely clear all your issues? No. So I don't want to think that I'm promising you, which is completely wrong. That's why I have these membership programs. That's why I have these mentorship programs where we go and work on 3 months or 6 months, and we go and clear and do 100% clearing. This masterclass will clear 20 to 30% of all your clearings that you need upfront. So your investment today to join the program, the masterclass recording itself alone is $37. The masterclass and the recording is there's an investment of $47. and the live masterclass recording and the private one-to-one session with me, which is heavily discounted because of that session alone. It costs of 3-month programs, and they cost around, currently I'm charging $6,000. So one session generally costs about $600, and I've kept the investment to 50% of that, which is investment today. So it's only investment of today of $297. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's webinar. If you think I gave you value, if you are interested, please click on the link below and come and join me on the masterclass. I look forward to seeing you all. Let's see. Hey, fabulous. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed today's webinar. I hope you found it useful. And let me know if I can be of any service to you. Any questions before we go? Let me see. Do we have any questions? No questions? Okay then, so thank you so much for joining me today, and